Welcome to the Mothering with Jesus podcast, where we are real and raw about the ups and downs of motherhood and where we rally together to become the mothers that God intended us to be. We are starting up a new series, a little 5 to 10 minute podcast series where I come at you with a little bit of inspiration that I have learned and hope that it will help you. And it can just be a quick tip or uplifting moment that we can have together for us busy moms who sometimes a full-length podcast is just out of the question. But hopefully we can just quickly get in some connection with our purpose and our vision and feel more grounded in what we're doing every day. So this week, I want to talk about the ideal day. Have you ever done any coaching or these like productivity gurus? And if you've done anything with them, they often have you get very clear on your vision. And as part of getting clear on your vision, they will have you come up with what your ideal day looks like. And they go top to bottom. You're supposed to think about exactly how you're going to feel, who's going to be there, what you're going to be wearing, what you're going to do with your time, what this ideal day looks like. Okay. And I love to do it. It's actually super fabulous. It helps you really focus on what you want. And then you try to make some steps to get there right. Okay. But I actually think us mothers need to stop this. We cannot do this practice. It's just no for us. Because we are not going to have the ideal day. There are too many small humans who are unpredictable, and it's just not going to happen. Okay, guys, I have spent so many years chasing the ideal day. If you are new around here, I am the mother to 4 little girls, 9 to 3 in age. I homeschool them. And I just have really wasted a lot of time trying to create this perfect, ideal day. And I just think that instead of worrying so much about this perfect schedule, that there's some other options and there's some more flexible ways to think about the things that we need to get done in order to not feel like we're just marching these little soldiers through life and that we're taking time to actually enjoy our children. Okay. I think that really kind of boils down our day-to-day purpose is helping to teach character in these tiny humans and just enjoy them as much as we can, right? Develop these deeply personal, connective relationships that will last through the eternities. And I just have found, for me personally, that if I am so tied to a rigorous schedule that I am just not happy. I'm not able to take the time to enjoy my children and enjoy what they're trying to say to me because I'm so focused on the next step and what needs to happen and seeing all the things that aren't happening. So if you're anything like me and any of this resonates with you, then here are a couple tricks that have really helped me to change from not so much a timed schedule, but more to here's a small achievable list of things that I'm going to do every day. And if I accomplish those, it really helps me to feel on top of my life. Because the flip side of just letting go of the schedule completely, not really doing anything, just go with the flow, like just vibing. I've been there too, 100%. But then you feel like your life is running you and you're not running your life and you're not accomplishing the things that you set out to do, right? There's not time for anything extra because you're just playing catch up all the time. So one thing I have loved to do is just nail out what things are important for me. At the end of the day, what things do I feel like, oh, I really wish I would have gotten XYZ done? Okay. So for me, I have my morning routine and it's a very loose morning routine because sometimes it happens early in the morning. Sometimes it doesn't get accomplished until 3 p.m. But it doesn't really matter if I'm accomplishing those things at some point during the day, then it helps me feel good. By the end of the day, I can lay my head on my pillow and be like, we did this, you know? So for me, my personal items are prayer, scripture study, going for a walk, exercising, and getting ready for the day. And there's different variations of all of those things. You know, sometimes my lifting weights looks like an hour-long lifting weights in my garage, and I love it. Sometimes it's an hour-long walk while the kids play at the park. Sometimes my scripture study is me laying in my bed, just looking at my phone and reading my scriptures. Sometimes it's me listening to a podcast while I'm on my walk. Sometimes it's me sitting down with my physical scriptures and my journal and really asking some questions and diving in deeper, right? There's different levels to all of these things depending on how I'm doing, how the kids are doing, how we've slept. Today, for example, my oldest 9-year-old daughter, who basically never gets in bed with us, ended up in bed with us last night. And my 3-year-old also had a crazy sleep and was kicking and screaming. Then I'm fighting some sort of sickness and my throat was killing me. So like, it was just a crazy night. When I woke up, I didn't feel like, wow, I'm on my A game. I'm just going to go bust it in the gym. You know, like I just laid in bed, read my scriptures. We got up, had breakfast together, played a game. You know, we slowed things down, but I was still doing things that felt productive, just at a much slower pace. Then I have my children's schoolwork. And for us at this time with my 9-year-old and my 7-year-old, we focus on language arts and math and our scripture reading and our just like reading. I'm reading a chapter book to them all the time. And so those are like my 4 big things that if we accomplish those things for school, I feel like we're on top of like our goals and the trajectory that I want to be on. Then we have science and history and art and Spanish and all these extra things that I add in on days that are slower for us, or should I say days that we're more on top of things and where we have less like of the scheduled things. They have, you know, a couple extracurricular things that we do. And so on the days when we don't have those, then we squeeze in some of the extra stuff. Okay. But as long as I get those first few items, those 4 things done, I'm like, okay, we were on top of school. So I've got my morning 5 stuff. I've got our 4 school things for my girls. That usually ends up being mid-morning, early afternoon. And then evening time, if I throw in a load of laundry of the girls' clothing that they've worn all day, we throw in 1 load and then they take care of it in the morning. That has been super helpful to help it feel really manageable for them and for us. And then I start my dishwasher, make sure my kitchen is tidy. And if I get those things done, then I feel like I'm set up for the next day. It really helps to put my kitchen to bed and make it a fresh place to start in the morning, right? And then throughout the day, there's just multiple tidy ups. I really appreciate a tidy, clean home, and we try to do our best to keep up our house. But it just can be really hard to manage all the things that you need to manage. And it can be really overwhelming if you sit down and think like, oh, there's so many good things that I want to be doing, you know? So instead of thinking of it like that, like how much can we cram in? I just have kind of turned it into, okay, what's like the bare minimum that we can do in a day that will help me still feel like we're achieving our goals and heading in the right direction without being a military officer where I am just charging everyone around and not feeling as loving and gentle as I would like to feel in my motherhood. And I think it's going to be really individual what bare minimum is for you. I don't mop my floors every night. But I know I have a sister-in-law who mops her floors after every meal, and she would die living with me. And, you're just going to have things that really help you feel on top of your life. And those things are going to look a little bit different for each one of us. So I invite you to take a little bit of time, figure out what your bare minimum is, figure out what is going to work for you, and try to stop chasing this ideal day. You're not a robot. Your children are not robots. And I don't think that's how God expects us to live our lives. I think that He wants us to have open spaces so that we can take time for our children, take time for the cute questions that they're going to ask us, and for times when they just need to sit and snuggle, and also times when a friend needs us. Maybe we need to call someone, maybe we need to text someone, maybe we need to take something over to someone and let them know that we're thinking about them, or watch children, or bring a meal. There's so many things that even though we're busy, we can take time to love those inside and outside of our home. So I'm cheering you on. You're doing amazing. I know that God is proud of you wherever you're at. Literally, that's the amazing thing about God and about this life, is that no matter where you are at, He's proud of you, He's loving you, and He's just slowly leading you along to better things. And I'm so grateful for His graceful, compassionate love. And I hope that you feel that today. I'm cheering you on forever and always.